Moaning tablet, kind of, not really. We are back at it again. It is your boy Pat the Designer, back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all feeling? Joined by the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid.
Was good.
Hey, little feeling rested, dog. You know what I mean? A little
Feel good, don't you?
stretching, a lot of coffee
Feel
in
good,
me.
don't you?
Getting ready for lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, a little
Went to the
different. We on it a
gym,
little bit
chilled out a little
different.
bit.
You know what I'm saying? And no, we on a little bit different time today. This is going to be the time moving forward 11 to 1. Welcome in to the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Live. How y'all feeling? How y'all like this? Y'all vibing with this? Y'all rocking with this? Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Y'all know we doing this every single day. Got a lot to get to today, man. Breaking down the Bulls record versus top teams in the East, those playoff teams. Is it concerning? Kyler Murray wants a new deal already. What the heck is up with that? And then, of course, our Lakers fans starting to realize that LeBron might be a part of the problem after what we saw last night with him getting booed off the court after another day of 7 turnovers. All that and more, man. Some fun things to ensure. We appreciate you guys for pulling up as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. And if you can't stay and listen to the whole thing, you can download the Contender app, the Contender where you hear nonstop sports talk. While you're on the clock, go check us out over there live as well. How y'all feeling today, man? Kid, how you feeling today, man? First things first, man.
I'm feeling good, man. It's a Monday. It's a good Monday afternoon. I had
Monday,
to work most of the weekend, so
yeah.
I'm taking today. I'm chilling today.
It's a chill day
One or
for
two
you.
calls. It's a chill day for me. I gotta hit hard the rest of the week, but yeah, I'm good. I'm sufficient. I'm
It's
satisfied.
always good to have that one day. It's always good to have that one day where you just like, I'm just cooling. I'm not doing too much today. I feel like you need it, yeah, especially with what we do. It's nonstop.
I'm gonna take it. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm gonna take today. You ain't gonna tell me I ain't gonna take my rest day.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat as well for pulling up, man, because we know the morning shows were rough on all of us, man. I don't know what we were thinking. I'm gonna blame Kid on that one. Blame Kid.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
All right, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it because all we hear, right? Y'all already know we do the Bulls live calls. And all we hear after that is when we lose versus those top echelon teams, and rightfully so. I guess it's not the worst point to be put out there is we can't beat good teams. And so my question to the chat, my question to Kid, versus those top teams in the East and the West put together, and I'm talking about top 3. Bulls are 6-14.
Ooh, that's bad.
It's bad. The good thing, there is a good thing in here, right? How far do you count those playoff teams? That's my question to the chat. Is it anybody who makes the playoffs, which is how you should count it? Or is it just we can't beat the best teams in the Eastern Conference?
Here's a better question. Out of those 20 games, how many of those games were against West Coast teams?
7.
So we lost.
Right? We lost twice to Phoenix. We lost twice to Golden State. We lost both games to the Grizzlies.
So that's 6.
Did we lose as Stefan Adon enters the room? Did we lose another game on that West Coast trip? There are oh no, you're right. We only played Phoenix one time, so we only lost one against Phoenix. There are a good, I'd say,
so we beat the Lakers.
A third of it is West Coast.
Are we really counting the Lakers?
Well, at the time, yeah.
Here's what I'm saying though, right?
In December, they were a pretty good team.
No, here's what I'm saying. Are we saying that the Bulls cannot beat playoff teams? Or are we saying that the Bulls struggle against the best of the best? Which is a case that can be made for more than just the Chicago Bulls in the NBA.
I will say that the Bulls struggle against, well, I can't say best of the best because y'all lost to Philly.
Philly's one of the best teams in the NBA.
This was
that's
pre-James Harden.
here's the thing, right? That's my point. We count
Y'all
Philly.
lost to Philly pre-James
We
Harden.
count Philly, right? Because
Philly was a top 5 team in the East without James Harden.
But this is the thing. That's why I say it like this, right? And that's my point. And like the video, if you agree, where do we stop counting playoff teams? To me, I stop counting playoff teams when you're out the playoffs.
You said what?
To me, you're not a playoff team if you're out.
The question in itself is kind of, I think you have to rephrase the question because you said, when do you stop counting playoff teams? The top 8 are all playoff teams. So we lost against the top 8.
Top 6.
Top 8.
Come on, dude.
If you're an 8th seed, are you not in the play-in?
You counting the play-in?
No, but if you're an 8th seed,
are you not in
the play-in? So it's top 6. It's top 6.
I get what he's saying because of how they changed the format.
It's time. I'm sorry. I get what you're saying.
Do we have to adjust our thinking on that? I guess that's a good question as well. Do we have to adjust our thinking on that because the NBA has adjusted their format?
No.
Yeah. The NBA adjusted the format, so now you sound like an old head.
You do not have to.
An old head. It was 2 years ago, dog.
It wasn't just. They've been doing one.
You don't have to adjust your thinking because the only way you qualify for a play-in game is if you're with striking distance of those things. You have to be within a number of games. It's not, I'm a 9th seed, I automatically get to play. You have to be within striking distance of the playoffs. That is still a rule.
What you're saying.
So if you're a 9th seed, but you're 5 games behind the 8th seed, there is no play-in for you right there.
I get what you're saying, but are they not taking the top 6 in each conference?
No, you're taking the top 8. Just because you're in the play-in game does not mean you don't actually compete in the playoffs.
Just because there's a play-in doesn't mean that there's not 8 teams that get to the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
like,
if
there was only 6 teams that got to the playoffs, you'd have a point. But that's not the case.
But here's the thing, right? That's why I make the point that I'm making. Where do we stop counting? Because all we care, it's always we can't beat the best of the best. Well, we did beat the best of the best. We beat the Nets. They were the top seed in the NBA when we beat them. Hey, guess what?
Right,
now they're an 8th seed because Kevin Durant got hurt.
Right.
But when we beat them, they were the best in the league. But we don't count that. That doesn't count.
How?
But
yeah, that logic is done.
But this is the thing. Philly's a 5th seed. So are we talking about the top teams in the Eastern Conference, or are we talking about all of the playoff teams? You know what I'm saying?
Let's look at it like this. The East is so close.
Okay, so this is what. So when you sent the topics in, I read this topic. This is what I immediately went to when you posed the question in the chat.
Right.
My problem is we have came on this too many times covering the Bulls game, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, kid, oh yeah, Ringo. What did you see in that first quarter that you liked that you didn't like? And this is when we playing the top teams.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, no effort. We came out lax. Like I feel like that's the bigger issue to be concerned with when you talk about the record, because it's like, oh yeah, we'll let them get up 10 and start the game. We'll let Phoenix get up bad as much to start the game. They let the Nets do that, and it's just like you can't come out and consistently do that, and then say, we're definitely waiting on everybody to get back, because that literally just comes down to effort. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm willing to have that. Because
I'm willing to agree with you. We do say that a lot versus those top teams where it's like the first quarter we get punched in the mouth and we end up fighting our way back. What just happened versus Memphis? We got down in that second quarter bad, got down in the third quarter bad, and in the fourth we fight all the way back to take a lead. So I'll agree with you on that. But here's the thing. We need to understand that the other team gets paid to play as well. The Chicago Bulls, there is not one above 500 team in the playoffs. There isn't one. The Chicago Bulls right now versus plus 500 teams are 19 and 16. The best team in the Eastern Conference for now. We'll see after the night. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing with the boys. We're going to see what's going on.
Hey, you know what time it is with that.
We're going to see what's going on after the night. But your top teams in the Eastern Conference right now, what's the Miami Heat's record versus above 500 teams?
Shoot.
It's the best team in the East.
It's horrible, isn't it?
No, it's not horrible. It's
above
500. You wouldn't be a top team in the East if it was horrible.
It's not like knock your socks off.
It's 19 and 14.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's not knock your socks off. We killing them.
That's the point I'm making. We're here, so we're gonna break it down more. But what are we stopping at playoff teams with? There's not one playoff team that's below 500 right now.
Yeah, you can't.
Even the Lakers. So where are we stopping at? They can't beat playoff teams. Here's the thing Bulls fans got to understand when you're going into this. Hey, not for nothing. We're not going to be playing the third seed in the first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing is I feel like people is kind of tripping because they've been on national television every time and got smacked.
And gotten smacked. Absolutely.
Every time. So I feel like that's what everybody's basing this off of. Who's Larry's backup? We got Gabe Vincent and Tyler Hero to come off the bench. But we got
Gabe Vincent be getting cooked sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But he be getting busy.
Gabe Vincent be getting cooked sometimes.
We got Victor Oladipo coming back next week?
Yeah, it's just one of those things to me where I feel like when you look at the NBA playoffs, you have to look at it for the totality of what it is. You can't say, oh, they're a top 4 seed, so they're really a playoff team.
You know, I look at how we view the Nets. No one in the world disagrees that a healthy Nets is one of the best teams in the league, but they're the 8th seed right now. Well, if we're going to have that same energy for the Nets, who I agree, healthy KD, Kyrie playing, the way that they filled those gaps in, it's a bad team right there. But the Bulls got that same problem. The Bulls still have 3 key pieces that aren't on the floor and one that was laboring with the knee issue for who knows how long.
Yeah.
If we're going to have that same issue with the Nets and give them that pass just because I agree, KD covers over a lot of sins. Don't get me wrong. But so does Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, and a healthy Zach for what we need for the Chicago Bulls. And the addition of Tristan Thompson filling up that middle lane. How many times did I sit on these lives and say, hey, when we get exposed in the paint, this is where we struggle. Well, we address that issue. We're addressing that issue.
Yeah.
And in the process of addressing that issue, we're still number 2 in the East, number 5 in the league. So with all these issues that loomed over us, and all these legitimate NBA players saying, hey, that's a bad team. Look at how many injuries they had, and they're still doing what they're doing. I really don't care what the record is against above 500 people, because I know a healthy Bulls team is legitimately has one of the best shots to win a championship. Better than Miami. Better than Miami by far. Not even gonna lie to you. Not even gonna hold you. I think we can beat the Bucks the way as we're constructed. The only team that I think we will struggle against are teams with dynamic guards and a solid front court.
Yeah,
and that's only a handful of teams.
And
most of them are in the West.
Yeah, I mean,
and the ones in the Eastern Conference right now are the Philly and the Nets.
That's hey, talking about Philly, prove me wrong. Salute to you. I thought Maxey was gonna take a dip. Maxey said, "Hey, let me feed off of you, James, and cook these motherfuckers."
I'm not, man. Listen, first of all, I'm not sold on Philly. It's nice what they did in these 2 games. That's real nice.
Yeah,
that's real nice. Call me when we get to the second round of the playoffs.
Well, you better hope that they don't see you in the playoffs, because
I'm serious. Like, how many times James Harden gonna do this?
No, this is the biggest thing. Yeah, that's true. But this is the biggest thing with that Philly team, and you saw it at the end of that. Who they just played the Knicks game? You saw it at the end of that Knicks game. Joel Embiid is tired in the fourth quarter. Joel was cooking that whole game, but I was
backup.
watching him in the fourth. He is tired. I'm telling y'all, not having Drummond back there might take a while. They blowing the doors off of these mugs now, but by the end of that game, I was looking at Joel. I was like, yo, he is like getting the ball and immediately like somebody else do something.
Facts.
But I look at the playoffs. Like I'm not going to exclude some of the teams to fit the narrative, right? We saw Casey Johnson write the article stating that the Bulls are 6-4 team. He put in there the Suns, he put in there the Warriors, the Grizzlies, when really he put in the teams we played on national TV. And it's not a slight. He's right. Listen, we got the doors blown off of. Not, hey, Bulls. I hate to tell you this. You're gonna play these teams on national TV. The playoffs are not on NBC Sports Chicago. You're gonna be playing these teams on national TV. So it is something to be said. You said what?
The first round usually is, right? They stopped that?
No, all the playoffs are ESPN now. ESPN, TNT, and
oh dang. I remember they used to have it. Like the Bulls, they would at least like show the first round.
I do remember that. I vaguely remember, but that was a long time ago.
First round on NBC Chicago.
That was a long time ago, though. Because think about Derrick Rose hitting that shot over the game winner is Mike Breen.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose hitting the game winner is Mike Breen. So shout out to Just Call Me IT. He said, what up, fella? Yo, fellas, y'all look well energized. Hey, you have no idea, dog. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that I'm looking at with this team and how to assess them, one, we really can't assess the team. At this point, we're assessing players, even assessing how Billy Donovan is calling the game. There's some things we might not agree with, but there's also a lot of things we don't know behind the scenes. And I'm not going to be one of those fans that's very wishy-washy. Oh my God, Billy Donovan's completely getting out-coached here. Where the game before you're like, oh, Billy Donovan, I love that play. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Vooch is trash. We need to trade him again. By the way, we're back to trade Vooch after the trade deadline. That's always a funny one to see. Hey, you got to trade Vooch. Like, yeah, we can't now. This is your team.
It was just one game where as soon as they took Tristan Thompson off the floor, they was butting the pick and roll, and it was like, trade him.
Bro, it was literally. Now I will say, Vooch has had a rough couple of games coming off of the All-Star break, but it's just like the wishy-washiness of it.
He needs to play them together. I don't know why he's not really playing them together.
I don't know.
Billy has to really Billy has to be better in certain respects, but at the same time, Billy is also trying to figure out what he has, and I respect that because realistically, technically P. Will be right next to Vooch, and P. Will kind of fit that lane a little better because he has more of an outside presence. Tristan takes up a lot of space. He just does. You see, y'all see, he takes up a lot of space.
This is what I actually told Brand. So I told Brand, I told him the reason why I feel like Billy isn't playing them together, which I agree. I like Tristan in there because he's always around the ball. I feel like the reason why he's not playing them together is because if Tony Bradley was at least solid and not just okay, he would be able to throw him in there.
To me, you got to adjust that rotation after you put Bradley out there for 3-4 minutes. Like Tony Bradley, like me and Kid, we've all been on the live and just like, yo, he's really playing great defense today. Like, what the heck's going? Like versus who was he playing? Who was he playing? Like a legit. He was playing Embiid.
He was playing a legit big.
No, it wasn't Embiid.
It wasn't Capella. Was it Capella?
No, it wasn't Embiid. It was a focal. Hey, it was a focal big man to the point where we was looking around like, what the heck is going on right now? Like Tony Bradley was swatting shots, facing up well. Hey, I feel like you got to play him like the microwave. Like if he own, he own.
Yeah, no, we were. No, yeah, we were. Yeah, it was Karl Anthony Towns. But
it's like that's exactly.
It was like he picks his games though.
Hey, he was getting. Hey, I feel like you got to do him like the microwave. Put him out there for 2 minutes. Be like, let's see the defense. Hey, Tristan.
But against Bam tonight. This is a game for Tristan.
Yeah. Hey,
you laughing like Bam got it. Like Bam cold. But I mean, I've seen Tristan really put some clamps on people.
Hey, my dude. It's not just Ben. We got Dwayne Dedman and Yurtseven coming off the bench too, bro. We solid out there. Y'all still looking for it. Come on, man.
Who you got sticking half our team, dog? I'm just curious because Duncan Robinson about to get smacked.
You said what?
Duncan Robinson about to get smacked.
By the way, has Duncan Robinson recovered?
Nah.
He shouldn't have been there.
Listen.
What I tell y'all about Devin Vassell, by the way.
You can have a dunk.
What I tell y'all about Devin Vassell, by the way.
He
got yam, bro? I gotta go see this.
God, dog, kid, he shouldn't have been there.
We got the dub. He shouldn't have been there.
Hey, kid, he shouldn't have been there. Hey,
he shouldn't have been there. He absolutely should not be there.
Hey, he had no business under the rim. He is 6'7", and that's it.
Like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
he ain't 6'7" with hops. He is 6'7", and that's it. Your career ended at 6'7", my boy. You shouldn't have been there.
I'm like, dang, dog. Nah,
hey,
but you know,
it was a bad look for him. But I mean, if we're being real, right?
Ayo finna clamp down.
100% healthy Bulls team. Can you say honestly that somebody who is a fan of a different team and watches probably a wider range of games, because you're seeing that? Can you say 100% Bulls team you're not worried about in the slightest?
Hey Ringo, I've never seen somebody get put on a full-fledged poster. Like you gotta look like if you slow that dunk down, no cap. If you slow that dunk down, it kind of looked like the Jordan statue. Like if you ever look at the Jordan statue, there's a guy in the corner going like this in the Jordan statue. Like it kind of looked like that.
Hey, that was Scottie Pippen.
Back to past question though. I mean, like I said, I mean the Bulls is up there. They're a great team. My only issue with them is the fact like they don't bring effort from jump. Like they don't bring effort from jump, and I'm tired of sitting up here saying, "Oh man, they came out lackadaisical." Because like
we didn't say that.
You a Heat fan? You ain't gotta say nothing.
It's not like they don't.
Here's the thing, right? There is something to having that energy guy, right? We've seen it with the Warriors. When the Warriors didn't have Draymond in there, it's a very different team energy-wise. There's something to be said to having that guy that gets you going. For the Bulls, that was Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball. You know what I'm saying? Those guys that get you going, get you ready from the jump. We weren't saying that at the beginning of the season. We were talking about how the Bulls were blowing the doors off teams. We were just like, dog, like, what? Hold on now. Like, what's really going on?
Let me ask y'all a question. What is the Bulls? What is y'all biggest gripe with the Bulls?
My biggest gripe with the Bulls? Defensive. The fact that defensively, if Alex Caruso is not on the court, there isn't an effort defensively. And because there's such a lack of effort, Billy Donovan is basically taking on the tactic of, hey, we have to outscore teams because you're not showing me enough effort on that end of the floor. Now the Bulls have improved. I believe they were 25th at one point this season. Now they're up to 18th since Derrick Jones and Javonte Green have come back. You've seen the Bulls be better situationally, defensively. Versus that game versus Atlanta, it came down to that last second play, and DeMar DeRozan ends up getting a huge block. They lock in. That's my biggest issue, is the fact that we want to kill Billy Donovan, but at the same time, there's not good enough defense being played on the floor consistently for Billy to make the adjustment defensively. And when Billy does make the adjustment defensively, we don't give him credit for it. Billy Donovan absolutely made an adjustment defensively versus Memphis. Steven Adams was sliding down for the putback every single time. And Billy Donovan was like, hey, just if you switch it, somebody has to come off. I'd rather you give up the mid-range jumper than give up Steven Adams at the bucket. You saw Javonte Green and Derrick Jones start to slide in and pair boxing out Steven Adams on that one. But to me, that's the biggest issue that this Bulls team has. Like, I shouldn't have to tell Zach LaVine, hey, defense is still important even when Alex Caruso isn't there. You're an NBA player. I shouldn't have to tell you that you need to play one half of the floor.
I don't know if you have to tell them. You have to also realize that every player is dealing with some nagging injury. And Zach has this thing going on with his knee. There's only so much you can do in certain
Zach might be a
situations.
poor. You're right. Zach might be a poor DeMar.
Nah, DeMar absolutely.
DeMar be letting that corner three go. That man be looking from the middle of the paint like.
Rotations have to be tighter.
Yeah.
Again, the biggest thing I look at, I'm gonna keep harping on this because it matters. This is a playoff. Look at real good playoff series and look at where the points are. Unless your name is Steph Curry, it's not a lot. Even Steph Curry in the playoffs don't shoot the same type of shots that he does in the regular season. I don't know why people think he does. He don't. They look at that OKC clip and where he had that one game. I got to realize it was one game. He was getting clamped a lot of those games. But points in the paint. Points in the paint is where we get beat.
Yeah, that's true.
And Memphis beat us because they had a plus 12 on points in the paint, 62 points in the paint.
Oh, yeah.
But when I look at that, and I say,
and 360 spin.
Yeah, that 360 spin.
Hey, I was watching the game. I was like, I know fella like that.
Bro, this is the part. This is the tough part, right? Because y'all know I love Ja Morant. So I'm sitting there on the game, and I'm just like, you can't be too excited for him cooking DeMar like that.
Dog, you know what was impressive about it? He started off right hand and finished right hand. He didn't switch. Normally, when you do like you see John Wall do it, he switches to the other hand because it's easier to lay. The right hand is closer to the rim. The timing on that to be so impeccable. Like, dog, I don't know. Somebody mentioned this morning too, but when I saw that, I was like, that's so tough.
You said what, Ringo?
The left took me out.
Hey, no, the best thing I saw on that play was not Ja Morant. It was the fear that Ja Morant puts in people, because you absolutely saw DeMar DeRozan make a business decision like, is he finna try to 360 dunk on me? I feel like he might have the ability to do it. I'ma kind of not get in this picture. Like, it was whenever I see Muggs make good business decisions on the defensive end, it cracks me up. Like, it's always fun when you see somebody go up and try to get the big swat. But listen, Patrick Ewing on a lot of posters. Hey,
but going back to the point though, points in the paint. That's why when I see Tristan Thompson, he plays 16 minutes, but Vooch got 31. I'm not saying Vooch's minutes should be lower, but what I am saying is you can't have Vooch out there for 31 minutes, Tristan Thompson out there for 16 minutes, and then you play a bunch of guards.
Guards. That's all we got, guards.
Whoever don't see it.
Hey, I tell you what, Troy Brown don't need to get any minutes.
You said what, bro?
Hey, Troy Brown don't need to get any minutes.
Troy Brown has 7 minutes.
Bro, give him to Tristan. Bro, I want him to be good. I swear, I when he came here, I was like, I think he has the ability to be a great defender. Bro, I was high. I was high on him. I was like, you know why? Because when he got time in Washington, he was a clamp. But I ain't gonna lie to you. Every time I see this man do this move here, I'm like, you about to get cooked. Whenever he's in a technical defensive stance, my God, he be getting cooked.
I don't know how many people are not gonna be on the rotation when like Lonzo is definitely pushing somebody to the background.
Yeah.
I mean,
AC is pushing somebody to the background. You might as well go ahead and say DJ. I always want to call him DDJ. DJJ, holla at you. Them 19 minutes, 8 and 6, Lonzo time, because they're the same size.
Well, here's where the question
they're the same
comes
size.
In, right? Is that what we're seeing in Billy's rotations? Right? He's got guys literally, legitimately, possibly next week, maybe week after that coming back. So is that what we're seeing in these rotations? Is this a preparation for, okay, I'm running these minutes based on Troy Brown, you're going to be Derrick Jones. Derrick Jones, your minutes are going to be Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, you're going to you know what I'm saying? Like Troy's minutes and TBJ's or Tony Bradley's minutes, those are going to Alex Caruso. You know, like, is he prepping the team kind of for where they're going to play now? Because you might play this thing completely different if Alex Caruso and Patrick Williams and Lonzo Ball are there.
There's a whole freaking fourth-man roster on the injury reserve right now. Y'all do realize that?
Yeah.
There's a whole bench right there that could absolutely do some things. I would love to have Lonzo come off my bench with Alex Caruso and Patrick Williams if he's going to actually play. Like there's a whole bench right there that we don't have. I'm not concerned.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned. I'm really not. Hey, but Io getting cooked. I rewatched that game. Io got cooked that whole game.
He got cooked.
Hey, listen, welcome to the league, big fella, because you got cooked.
If
he don't have that as his welcome to the league moment on All the Smoke, if he ever get there, he's lying.
Y'all said it was hard for me to score.
Hey, who's the first person to brush your?
No, I will say,
Ja Morant.
I will say, in the first game he played against Ja, it was harder for Ja to score. He still had 33, but it was harder for Ja to score because Ja got a lot of it in the fourth quarter. In that game, Ja had like he had like 3 regular quarters and then a 20-point quarter. And
like, Ja Morant saw him, it was like easy money. like hey, I like Ja Morant. Ja Morant remind me so much of AI. It's ridiculous. A more athletic AI.
Did y'all see the Ja Morant versus D Rose thing
that
everybody keeps sharing around?
I sent that to y'all. Crazy.
I didn't know it was verse. I thought they were just comparing the two.
I don't think it's comparable.
What the 3?
Well, they numbers are mad close.
Their numbers are close.
Both in their third seasons, their numbers are mad close right now.
Hey, Derrick Rose was a really big guard. Too big, too strong, too fast. Sorry. Nah. I like Ja. But Derrick Rose literally had people shook.
Well, listen.
He had people.
Hey, listen. I think the Morant flu is about to be real, dog.
He had people shook on a whole different level.
Here's what I'll say. This is always the question I ask, right, when I talk about it. And I don't know if Ja has one either. But name me a guard that cooked Derrick. And Derrick wasn't known as a defender.
Chris Paul.
Cooked him?
No. They went back and forth. Actually, Derrick cooked Chris.
No, Derrick cooked Chris.
That MVP year was solidified there for the MVP was that 8 games where he went through and cooked every single guard in the NBA.
I'm going to say it again. It was a week. Derrick Williams, check him off the list. Chris Paul, check him off the list.
Yeah.
Derrick, who else was it? Andre Miller, check that man off the list. He cooked like 8 straight
Andre
guards.
Miller was the top guard in the NBA. That was a wild time.
This ain't even. And he was like, this not even debatable.
The difference that people don't understand is right now Ja Morant is averaging 26.7. Derrick Rose at that time was averaging an even 25.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it was one of those guards you wouldn't think of. I think Tony
Parker.
Somebody cooked Derrick, and it was just like you didn't expect him to cook him.
Tony Parker got into him, but it was a very back and forth. It wasn't cooked, but it was Derrick wasn't stopping him. He wasn't stopping Derrick.
Parker disrespect is crazy to me. I need to make a whole separate video of that because they be dissing TP like he wasn't that dude. Y'all better stop dissing TP like he wasn't that dude. TP got highlights on your favorite player's favorite player. I guarantee you.
I'm trying to see here, right? Because if we do it, let me see. So right now, points per game. Because this is what people don't take into account. And you have to extrapolate things out to the modern era. So what is the Bulls' points per game right now? Like the team as a whole. Let me see. I definitely went to the wrong thing. Bulls.
I could give you Derrick Rose though. I was thinking more AI, but I can give you Derrick Rose.
Oh, he absolutely reminds me of Derrick. I'd say Derrick probably, if Derrick never gets hurt and continues to develop his game, I think they would have been very, very, very similar because Derrick eventually ends up getting a 3-point shot that's pretty consistent. Ja Morant's got a 3-point shot that's pretty consistent. So right now the Bulls are averaging. Where is this at? Why can I not see?
That's where it ends for me because Derrick's prime, realistically, was his junior through senior season, and then it was just a decline. Like Derrick Rose peak was really 2 seasons, and then it was over.
Yeah, the injuries robbed him.
Like it's one of the saddest stories I've seen.
So right now, right?
It's worse than Grant Hill to me. But it's like
Brandon,
that's why I'm like
Brandon
he
Roy.
just had a season.
Who is it worse than Grant Hill?
Nah, Brandon Roy.
I say Brandon Roy is probably Brandon Roy and Greg Oden is probably two of the worst.
Because
Brandon
Roy was absolutely a problem.
Brandon Roy was cooking everybody.
The difference is the difference is right that Derek and Grant Hill
played a couple dudes in a week.
Oh yeah. The difference is Derek and Grant Hill are we're still able to continue playing. Brandon Roy never was healthy enough to really continue playing. Greg Oden absolutely was never healthy enough to continue playing. I think he got on Miami for what, a solid 2 minutes, and he actually tore his ACL again or something?
He got on there, tried the ring chase, and it didn't happen. That was the last year we went to the finals. He got on.
Yeah.
It was just really memorable, but unfortunately, his career, his peak was just too short. Yeah. And you can't do the what if. We can't do the he never made his prime. Yeah, he did. He did his prime. He was MVP. That's prime. Like that's the best we got out of him. In retrospect,
prime is age though.
No, prime
is age based.
Prime is when you hit the peak of your ability. When you're at the apex of your game, that's your prime, and how long it lasts.
Yeah, but winning MVP doesn't mean that's the best he was gonna get. I think that's why people say he never reached that, because Giannis won MVP, and me and you came into the next season like, bro, he's better. You know what I'm saying? Like he won MVP, continued to get his game better, won it again, continued to get his game better.
I have an interesting take on Giannis. If Giannis develops a consistent jump shot, his game will be so vastly different. It won't be the same level of dominance.
No.
So he will get better skill-wise, but he won't be as physically imposing as he would be.
His whole mentality just want him to shoot 35%. If he gets the 35%,
you know what? Hey, listen. I will say, Jay Williams is absolutely
Jay Will was nice though. Jay Will was
the problem with Jay Will is that Jay Will did it to himself.
No, Jay Will was nice. Jay Will just did it to himself.
Jay Will could have been that dude though. Jay Will would have been the perfect franchise piece for the Bulls to keep moving forward.
I guess I got to go see what he could have been.
Jay Will was nice enough that Kobe paid attention to him. You know, he was Jay Will was freaky. He was freaky good at bat. I give you that. Jay Will was up there. I don't think he's better than Derek.
What games did y'all watch? He played one season.
Yeah, he played one season, one rookie of the year, didn't he?
No,
but even before then in college, you knew.
Yeah, he was nice in college. No, Jay Will played. Jay Will played one season, but then he had the motorcycle accident. Nice. Jay Will played one season, but then he had the motorcycle accident. So he never really played. I think he played a little bit more than one season, right?
No, he played one season.
I thought he played a couple games somewhere else.
One season, baby.
Man, that knee, yeah. But the difference is, like, Derek messed up his knee on the court. Jay Will messed up his knee riding a pocket rocket.
I wonder why he decided to. Anyway, that's
I don't know. Well, he's talked about it. He said just young and dumb, feeling that you were invincible. He said it's just being young and dumb, feeling like I was invincible. I went down. Career over. He always commends Jerry Reinsdorf. He said Jerry Reinsdorf still paid me my full rookie contract. So he definitely didn't have to. Or maybe he just paid him. I think he paid him for the full season next year. Mm-hmm. Something like that. And he was like, he definitely didn't have to. I could have been cut on the spot because I think it was a part of his contract. Like, if you do anything to bodily harm yourself, you don't get paid or something like that. So, Jay Will was not. Yeah, that's what I thought, Tanner. I thought Jay Will played for the Nets.
It just says Chicago. It don't say nothing else. Listen, I'm not acting like I know. I don't. I wasn't checking for Jay Will.
Yeah,
I wasn't. But this don't seem to show me that he played for any other team but Chicago and had one season.
Yeah, 2002. Jay Will changes that whole team. That's what the difference was, right? So that's that team with Ron Artest, Ben Wallace, Jay Crossover, not Ben Wallace, Ron Artest, Ben, what's the big white dude? Brad Miller. Ron Artest, Brad Miller, Jay Will. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the piece that made that whole team possibly nasty. Now you still had what's his name in there, so it didn't matter. Yeah, 03, I think 03, 04. I don't know. You might be right. You're probably right, but I do remember seeing him in another jersey. But yeah, dog, that's probably one of the dudes that was robbed of his. I don't know if I'd say worst. Brandon Roy is probably worse for me. Like,
because Brandon Roy got into everybody.
Is it Brandon Roy or is it Grant Hill because we saw so much from him that you knew? Like, if Grant Hill plays his full career, that's who we compare LeBron to, player wise.
I mean,
if we're doing the if thing, Tracy McGrady is probably the best if there was. Penny Hardaway, maybe. If we play an if game. I don't do the if games no more. Like, I know we hold Derrick Rose in regards, and I have a lot of respect for him. I actually went to school with him. Let it go. Let it go. I mean, he was 3 years older than me, but I mean, let it go. It's over.
I don't think it's
he never hit this. He hit his apex in life.
Can't do that because every year it's always a couple. Apex.
He made MVP, youngest MVP to ever do it. But the reality of it is, that's it. Like, we got the best out of him. He was drafted with really severe tendonitis in both knees. Check the scouting report.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen.
They knew that he was going to have some issues. Hey, and he got the most out of his body while he could.
Name a Chicago hooper that's never had knee issues. Name a Chicago hooper that's never had knee issues. It's how we hoop.
I get you.
We don't build shooters because most of the best players that we get end up playing most of their career outside. It's too windy to shoot.
At the time, also,
it's too windy to shoot.
Our era, we wasn't playing indoor as much.
Yeah, I didn't start playing indoor.
We playing concrete.
I didn't play indoor consistently until I was like,
I was an adult.
19 years old, 20 years old, dog. Like,
I was grown.
At that point, the damage is done. And you got to think about it. Derek, when you saw Derek was doing everything you saw on the court, on the concrete. The little run up, cock back, yam that mug on somebody on the concrete. That's not good for your knees. Anthony Davis, Pat Beverly, they've all had knee issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that comes out of Chicago, I think, has knee issues. Samurai J said, "I blame Thibodeau." Nah, I can't even. I blame Tom for playing him the way he did. He definitely.
Tom definitely ran that man.
Hey, listen. You know why? You know why I blame Tom? Because while we had the best record in the league, these mugs are out there playing 42 minutes in the last game of the season. It's like, hey, dog, we got the playoffs like tomorrow. Like,
so Jay Williams was trying to make a comeback. He got cut by the Nets. So he never made it on Nets 2 weeks before the season started.
Never made it on an official roster. That's what I figured. Probably played preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jabari too. Jabari knee issues. This is how we play. It's where we from. Like, most mugs don't got what they charge. It's like $10 to get into a indoor gym if you ain't got a membership.
Anybody got 20, 30?
Anybody got $10 to go play inside every time when it's free to play outside? You know what my mom used to tell me? Mom, can we go to the field house? Is it free? No. Walk up to the court. It's the same thing that everybody mom told them. You know what I mean? Like, Clayton, it's over, y'all.
Hey. I just feel like it's one of those things that is like, Everyone plays the if game. But we saw what we saw. We got what we got. We got the best out of him.
That's true.
Appreciate
Tim
it.
Hardaway made it a long time.
Move on. You know. That
Hey, listen,
it just gets tiring after a while. If Penny Hardaway, well, he got hurt. If Grant, he got hurt. If Grit, he got hurt.
And Grant still played. He was like a significant piece on them Phoenix teams.
If Brandon,
will say,
he got hurt.
The funny thing is hearing
if Scottie Pippen's back, he got hurt.
Did y'all?
It's part of the game.
Did y'all watch the Big Shaq podcast with T-Mac and Shaq and Spice and all them on there?
Yeah, I
did. They were breaking down how, like, if players from today would be as dominant in the 90s. And they would talk about some legit big names. Talked about Steph Curry, talked about Giannis, talked about some of those different names in there. When they talked about Giannis, T-Mac. Now, if Shaq said it, listen, to Shaq, anybody new school can't play in the old school. That's his mentality on it. Like, there's very few dudes that he's like Joel Embiid, maybe, but he really ain't got that back to the basket like that. Okay.
T-Mac broke it down the best.
T-Mac said Giannis would not be, he said he would be good. He would not be the MVP of the league in the 90s because without him having that jump shot and everything he's doing, basically going to the paint, he would struggle because of how hard you were allowed to close out on the paint.
Everything he does is going downhill. So I agree with him. He wouldn't be as dominant. The paint was clogged up. There wasn't a lot of space. Nah.
And he talked about Steph. Shaq just said it. Shaq said, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. He said, Matt, if you're tasked with guarding Steph Curry, what would you do? He said, I'd hand check him. I'd be holding him. He wouldn't move. Like, I'd be right in front of him. Like, come off screens, all of that. I can hold on to you. I can control where you go. He's like, and I'm going to tell you this right now. He come through the middle. He ain't going to come through the middle. and how T-Mac said it was the best. He said Steph would have still been great, but his career would not be this long. And I feel like we do that in the NFL, but we don't do that in the NBA. Mm-hmm. We do that in the NFL. If Tom Brady took the shots that they took back in the day, Tom Brady's career wouldn't have been this long. I've never thought about that point in the NBA. A lot of careers cut short based on the fact that I'm a point guard coming through the middle and I'm catching a bow to the ribs.
That's a fact.
That was an interesting point. I never thought about like the longevity of mugs. We were just talking about Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose isn't doing that back then. Vert, all of that. Kenny Smith could jump. Kenny Smith won a dunk contest. He wasn't coming in that middle.
People don't realize how much hand checking changed the game. We kind of grew up where we could hand check, put your arm on you. Remember, you could be able to put your forearm on somebody and then you can hook them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. You can't even do that now. You can't even put your forearm on the offensive player now.
Did you hear what T-Mac said was his go-to move? He said Grant Hill. He said Grant Hill taught it to him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm using that at the court. Hey, I am using that until I get back to my full. You did. I'm using, and even then I'm quicker again. I'm using that.
Hold your wrist.
He said Grant Hill. He's like, I can't figure out why he's getting past me. How's he beating me? I'm quicker. I'm stronger. I can jump high. How's he getting past? He's like, I'll show you after. He said, I'm grabbing his wrist every time. And then you saw T-Mac grab that wrist. He was like, it was my go-to move in my career. They never called it. It was just like,
I gotta go see some tape
like that. I can't.
Bro, when I saw it, when I heard him say it, I started going to look. I went and looked at T-Mac footage, and I was like, he really used it on everybody. He was cooking Kobe with it. Going left. He was cooking Kobe with it going left. And then Kobe came down and dunked on his whole team. But still, it was one of them where it was like, dog, that's crazy to see, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all for pulling up and rocking with us, man. Y'all know we could talk NBA all day. We'll be back in the 40s out here talking NBA, man. But we actually got some NFL talk to get into, man. Hold on, what's Spice say? Spice said, you must got Spice blocked in here. I can only see Spice in the on the other chat.
I ain't blocked nobody.
Kid, you be blocking people left and right. He might
Not
accidentally got blocked. I try to get him out of there. He said, "Nah, D Rose would have came through the middle. Let's think about this. To be fair, D Rose was faster than everybody from his generation, so he would have been faster than everybody in the old generation. Faster don't mean you can't run into a forearm, my boy. Hey, y'all remember that foul Andrew Bynum gave JJ Barea? That was regular. That was regular. Like, hey, look, I love Derek, but that was regular.
There's only one premier guard from back then who you knew lived in the paint, and that was Tony Parker. Tony Parker is the only premier guard from the early 2000s that lived in the paint.
I was going 90s.
What about? I mean, but you know another person we didn't mention?
Who?
Sean Livingston don't get no love?
No.
Sean Livingston get love for me, but he's not on the biggest if. Sean Livingston was just crazy. He was just crazy athletic. Okay. He was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean Livingston is just yeah, I'm saying like he was just crazy athletic. But it's not that he'll get no love, but I wouldn't say he's the biggest if. Sean Livingston was cooking over there, my boy.
Hey, it's crazy. That man got 3 rings now.
Hey, dog, that is crazy, ain't it? And I'm talking about you go from being the biggest what if to, you know what? That's why though. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Like 3 rings, like you just like, yeah, and you were like a key piece of those rings. Like,
what's the difference between Livingston injury and Paul George injury?
Nothing. It was the same. Well, 3 rings.
Like people cook Paul George. But they don't realize Paul George had his whole leg like broken in half, and he out here dogging people.
That's how Livingston's. Well, Livingston's was what, his ankle, right? Or was it the leg?
I don't remember. I think it was,
no, it snapped. Like you saw it snap. It was one of those.
It
was one of those. This is too graphic for children. You might want to get them out of the room before we re-show you this. It was bad.
No, the worst one for me was Paul George and Gordon Hayward's. Boy, Gordon Hayward's was horrible.
Seeing
oh god, seeing that made my stomach.
Seeing other players' reaction to Gordon, like the people that were competing against him, like they got the clip of KD watching the game while getting a haircut, and everybody just stopped, just like, oh my god. And KD he's just in shock, like seeing how other players reacted to it. It was like, dog, like they all thought his career over.
Mm-hmm.
And KD started praying. that's hey, shout out to him too, man. First off, shout out to him for getting the bag and then coming back. Still wasn't worth it.
That man got Mike threw out the bag. He absolutely earned that joint.
Finessed. Hey, let's get into some of this NFL. Speaking of Bugs getting the bag here. By the way, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. As I was saying, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. We're going to be doing this 11 to 1 every day. Spread the word, share the content, share the video, all that stuff, man. Also, by the time we get to 13K, hold on, let me. Ooh. We got the Io DeSumo jersey in the building. We're going to be giving this away at 13K. So hit that like button, subscribe to the page, and spread the word as much as possible on the Windy City Breeze, man. Share it up on all your socials. Share the content to all your Bulls, Bears, whatever groups you got, man. We got going to be doing a ton of giveaways. We got that one. And then we got, I ain't going to show y'all the player. I ain't going to show y'all the player, but we got the, we're going to be giving this one away at about 20K. Hold on, I can't show you the player here, but we're going to be giving that one away about 15K. So you know what I'm saying? Share this thing up, man. Shout out to y'all. Get chill. But,
ooh, oh, God.
Oh, you looked at Livingston's injury?
Why would you see? This the thing I don't understand about Kid. Like he'll be like, I'm not trying to look at this, and then go look it up anyway to put himself back through that.
This is the thing, though. What year did that happen? 2006?
When was that? 25th?
No, it wasn't.
2017.
No.
That was the year they got Kyrie.
No, Sean Livingston got hurt.
I'm thinking that you're talking about Gordon.
No. I'm talking about Sean Livingston.
Oh.
I think that was
ACL, PCL, MCL, meniscus, and dislocated his knee.
Yep.
God dang.
One of the worst. What year was that? 2016. I don't know why I said 2006. 2016. He did that, right?
Oh shoot. All right.
Why you keep watching it, dog?
Well, I looked at Gordon Hayward's first. Now I'm looking at Sean Livingston's. Then I looked at Paul George's.
Hold up.
It's enough.
No,
YouTube
2016 he went to the Warriors. I'm trying to see. Whatever year it was at a time where, like, if something was that bad. Oh, 2007. 2007. It was at a time where if something was that bad, they wouldn't reshow it. Or if they did reshow it, it was like, get the kids out the room and your parents would change the channel. You know what I'm saying? So you had to, as Steve-O said, I watched it with no issues when I was young. All right. That's a weird one.
I mean, some people can do that.
Hey,
he probably works in are you in the medical field? Are you working in the medical field or you're an embalmer?
Yeah.
You can do a lot of amazing stuff that doesn't bother you. That's just horrible to me.
Just shaking up with a dead dude. Speaking of us getting the bag, though, Kyler Murray wants the bag.
Kyler Murray needs to go ahead and sit himself down.
Kyler Murray issued a statement.
Read the statement, dog. What the statement?
Or hey, look, even I don't know if he issued it.
Hey, it say KM at the bottom of the paper.
It say KM at the bottom. But first off, here's the problem, right? Kyler Murray, you need new representation because his representation technically issues the statement. And the statement is mad long. First thing I thought with this is I'm not reading all of that. Said Kyler wants to be direct with loyal Arizona Cardinal fans, the great community of the Valley, in stating his two very important goals and objectives. He absolutely wants to be your long-term QB. He desperately wants to win a Super Bowl. Achieving both goals will take incredible commitment from himself and the entire organization. Despite all of Kyler's energy being focused on the future, he's very proud of the franchise extreme turnaround, which it has, in competitive success since his arrival, alongside his teammates and coaches. Fam, there's so much in the middle of that. In the middle, it says, actions speak louder than words in this volatile business. I'm legitimately not reading all of this. It says, it is now simply up to the Cardinals to decide if they prioritize their rapidly improving 24-year-old, already two-time Pro Bowl QB, who led the organization from 3 wins before his arrival to 11 wins and their first playoff appearance in 5 years. Kyler remains hopeful that the organization chooses to commit so that he can continue leading the Cardinals to further success and value for many years to come. Here's why I say Kyler Murray needs new representation and why he's probably getting bad advice just based on what I'm seeing here. I read this as Kyler Murray's hopeful that the organization chooses to commit. What it actually reads is Kyler Murray is hopeful that the organization chooses to commit. So I'm going to be real with you. You can't be giving the greatest advice if you ain't got time to spell check.
Hey, man.
A second O make a big difference.
Hey, it's like I said earlier in the chat, bro. Just go play baseball.
At this point, I don't get why he did.
Dog, cause you want to know what this is to me, bro. Like legit. You played the Rams and you failed, bro. Like you failed. You lost.
Well, here's an interesting part of this statement.
You lost. That's what it is.
Did you read this part?
It should be next man.
I might not have read. I read the whole thing, but it's so long, dog. I'm not finna read the whole thing on live. But go ahead with it.
I'll read this one section. So, looking ahead, Kyler believes that in order to consistently compete for championships and ultimately deliver the Valley their first championship in 33 years, there needs to be long-term stability for both the organization and himself. I agree with that. To overtly communicate Kyler's desire to be the Cardinals' long-term QB, we sent a detailed contract proposal to the organization. It was important to Kyler that his proposal reflected all of the following: provides financial protection, okay, is in line with the current QB market that compares his results alongside relevant comps, okay, lowers his 2022-2023 salary cap number to allow the Cardinals to re-sign other deserving teammates and add additional free agents. Okay. And most importantly, represents a real commitment from the organization to see if their ultimate goals align with his two above, consistently competing for championships and Kyler being at QB.
Mm-hmm.
That paragraph right there is actually really good.
That is lawyer talk for we want a contract now, because here's the thing. Kyler Murray has 3 years left. So when we're talking long term, what do you want? A 10-year deal that Pat Mahomes got? You ain't gave me Pat Mahomes results.
Well, you got them 11
right
wins.
now. If your goal is to really get your teammates re-signed, right now you make the perfect amount of money for your teammates to get re-signed.
Well, that's what he's saying. He wants the extension to lower his salary now, the cap hit now, which means it's going to balloon on the back end. So, but I mean, if he's going to play at this level, let's call a spade a spade. He's playing good football. He had
Sometimes.
2 games that ultimately was just like,
sometimes.
But he's
now granted, I'll give you the second half of the season. You're coming off an injury. You're trying to work your way back in. Knowing him, he probably came back before he's 100% healed. I'm not taking anything away from that. But the part that kills me is that
3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns.
Just take responsibility.
QBR of 100.
That's all this comes down to. Take responsibility. Like right now, bro. All right, this is legitimate.
I mean, what did he do that? What did he do that Aaron Rodgers didn't do?
Is he better?
Is he better than game by game?
Is he better than Lamar?
Yes.
Yes.
Is he better than Josh Allen?
No.
He's on par.
No. He's definitely below Josh Allen.
This is why.
But he's better than Lamar.
Lamar's below Josh Allen.
He's not on par. He is
Lamar's
not
below
Josh Allen. It's not even close. You 3 years at the bottom of the division. You make one playoff and you're on par.
Very different division. I'm not going to take that away from him. What I am going to take away is what I saw.
Do they got to wake up and play?
Hey, what I am going to take away from him is what I saw of him versus teams that were worse than him in that second half of the season, and versus teams that put him in a position to put his team in a position to be a higher seed in the playoffs, right? Here's my thing with Kyler Murray. You're talking like you're on Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen level when you are a little bit better than Lamar just because of your accuracy.
He's not even better than Dak.
Hold on, wait. Let's. I agree with you, and I agree with you offline that Kyler was tripping. Don't get me wrong. Boy, you tripping.
You tripping.
But at the same time, to say that he's better than Lamar, who was a league MVP and one of the premier QBs in the game, who's also trying to get his money, and they're encouraging him not to even touch the field until he gets his contract done. I can't hate on him. And to say that he's better than Lamar really is more telling about why Lamar probably shouldn't get his money and why Kyler should. If we can make the statement he's better than Lamar, Kyler Murray's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, but I can make the statement that he's better than Lamar because for me, the quarterback position is based on passing. The year that Lamar Jackson won MVP, Lamar Jackson
was running.
He was running, but he also had what? How many touchdowns?
Yeah, he was dotting up.
He also had the passing touchdowns as well.
With Lamar is that we've never actually seen Lamar with real targets.
Well, I mean, look. With how Lamar was missing, it don't matter.
Tell you what, send Hollywood Brown this way. I bet you just.
I'm not saying he's not a real target, but Kyler got AJ Green, D Hop.
With how Lamar was missing them mugs, it don't matter. Hey, look, I don't care how good a receiver you are if you sell 10 yards over his head.
He got hurt, and they absolutely went downhill. So that's more of an.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Tyler Huntley looks pretty good with that team.
They lost.
Huntley looks really good with that team. If we're having a battle with do I pay Lamar all that big money, and I look at what Huntley did,
they lost.
Well, they was gonna lose regardless. But at the same time, You have to think of from a business aspect.
They lost with Huntley.
That is the difference. I will say. I don't know. Listen, Lamar Jackson will absolutely play you out of a game, but Lamar's got that thing that absolutely will play you right back in that mud.
And Huntley was just steady Eddie to me. I'm sorry. I liked Huntley a lot. I liked him a whole lot.
I like him too, but I also like winning. I also like winning at the end of the
Ringo,
day.
Your team is lucky to have lottery picks.
No. We're not doing that. They lost. We're not on the giant.
Guess what? Anybody that didn't win a Super Bowl lost. It doesn't matter. It's like it's only one team that wins. Like
all right,
it's only one team that wins.
They all lost. Hey, and this is how you pivot.
I'm just saying, like, in all actuality, you don't win a Super Bowl. If you don't win a Super Bowl, you lost. Josh Allen absolutely had a phenomenal game, but he lost to Patrick Mahomes in one of the most unbelievable games of the season. Best game I've ever seen in my life, personally.
Best football game I've ever seen.
Guess what? Josh Allen did everything he could do. His receiver broke records. They did a phenomenal job, but they lost.
Yeah.
So guess what? I don't care. They all lost because there's only one champion.
Hey,
they all lost.
This man pivoted to a whole.
Hey, bro.
No, but here's the thing. He's talking about, but they lost. We're not talking about whether they lost or not. It's about how good he looked with that organization and how that team was kind of clicking. And now you got two people who are like, yeah, pay me my money. It's like if I'm Falcons, I'm like, yeah, I love you, but dog, I don't know.
From
a business aspect, could you potentially regret it? Maybe. But we sit here and talk about Lamar like he's not a premier quarterback. He's a premier athlete, and he is a premier athlete. He's not a premier quarterback.
I think that's the case there. Like, I've seen Kyler Murray be a premier quarterback. I've also seen him have his ups and downs, but that could be the development of being a young QB trying to find your way in the league. I think that's the biggest point. Kyler Murray has had those ups and downs. And guess what? I shouldn't be looking to pay you Pat Mahomes money if you're not giving me Pat Mahomes production. Like,
but here's the thing too. Pat Mahomes had his ups and downs, and he getting paid. Aaron Rodgers had his ups and downs, and he wants to get paid. Pat Mahomes
won a Super Bowl and an MVP in year 2
4
and 3.
4 straight AFC championship games, by the way.
Like, Kyler Murray hasn't even been out of the first round yet. Kyler Murray's barely been in the first round. He hasn't even played well enough to be a high
Patrick
seed.
Mahomes at that conversation. Insert Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is absolutely trying to. He's getting his MVP, but he ain't really went that far in the playoffs.
I agree with you.
He has a championship when I was before both my kids were born. I mean,
I agree with you, but that's because Aaron Rodgers is holding the Packers hostage. Like, it's because they're the Packers and they know Jordan Love sucks. Hey, guess what? Just like with Brett
Aaron Rodgers also controls the market. Teams are literally I'm not looking to make any moves till I find out what that guy's doing.
No, here's the thing. This is the difference. Brett Favre did the exact same thing.
Yeah, but Brett
No. They said, Brett, we love you. Here's your walking papers. We'll see you later. Because this kid's gonna be really good. So when Aaron Rodgers came in, they were like, hey, thanks for playing the work version of our game, my boy. The difference here is Jordan Love clearly, in their minds, is not the quarterback of the future.
You know what I didn't know about Jordan Love? No real college experience.
Oh, yeah. No, bro.
They took him on the Mitch plan.
What?
They took him on the Mitch plan.
No, it's worse than Mitch. He didn't have none.
Nah, Mitch but that was the Dave Gettleman plan. So that was the Dave Gettleman plan? You looked at him for a series?
That was the Gettleman plan. Yeah, you're right. That was the Daniel Jones.
Hey,
they were like, he really had no experience. Like,
he none. Really
I was like, why? Hey, why would you draft him so high?
I want that dude. He looks really good this series.
Hey, I'll say this, right? I defend a lot of like how the Packers have put a team around Aaron and what they've done to like build a team for him. And I get the whole, he's never had a higher first round pick that's a receiver. I get that argument, but at the same time, he's got the best receiver in the NFL on his team. That's called talent identification. Shout out to what they've done.
It's not even a question. Even the people in the league call him
it's
the best person
legitimately
in the league.
debatable.
I don't even know.
No, he's the best wide receiver because hey, listen,
Nah,
listen,
say,
back to
like, dog,
hey, kid,
the league
hey,
has
kid,
said he's the best receiver in the league. I don't know.
Kid, because back to Kyler Murray, he only uses D-Hop when he's like, go long, we need to win this game.
Kyler Murray has Rondale Moore, D-Hop,
Christian Kirk,
Christian Kirk,
Andy Isabella.
I don't know why he
just got who did he just get
D-Hop,
from
AJ Green.
Daniels.
No, AJ Green. He just got what's the tight end? Jeremy. I almost said Jeremy Shockey.
Zach Ertz.
He just got Zach Ertz from Philly.
Zach Ertz.
No, he got a squad.
Daniels.
Hey,
Max Williams.
And this is why we have the conversation around Kyler. He's talking and asking for this money as if, hey, the only way we're gonna win is if you put a team around me.
But wait,
there's a team
is he
around
really
you.
Asking for money? Is he just asking for a long-term commitment?
He's asking for a long-term contract that, from what's being reported, is probably on par with more of a Josh Allen deal than a Pat Mahomes, but a lot of money.
Hey, and the dumb thing is, it's like, fam, even if you look at the names on defense, you talking about Alford, you got Murphy, Buda Baker, Thompson, Isaiah Simmons, Chandler Jones on one side, JJ Watt on the other side.
But are we overreacting to the statement though? Are we overreacting to his? Because realistically, it just seems like he wants them to say, "Hey, make a decision. Am I your guy long term or not? If I'm your guy long term, hey, listen, let me know this. Let's put a plan together. Let's build it out so this is a long term thing, and let's work.
But you doing too much.
But I appreciate his assertiveness in the sense of, hey, the statement really said, I'm willing to adjust some things so that we can re-sign players so that we can make a move. That you haven't really heard that from a lot of players. That's
Tom Brady's whole career.
Overtly.
What
Tom Brady didn't say it. Tom Brady just did it. But like for him to be in his third year thinking, hey, this is what I want to do to make sure that we're competitive. I'm telling you, hey, I'm willing to commit to you that particular way.
I think
just give me a long-term deal that's market value. I kind of respect it.
Here's the thing though. You haven't been here long enough and done it long enough for you to be out there trying to make that claim to me. Like, hey, dog, I get that if you just Joe Burrowed us.
By the way, he is doing it the right way. This is after his third season. This is around the time you start talking extensions. You don't really want to wait till that last season on that contract to do it.
No,
so he's not doing it. He's not.
He just played out year 2, right?
Season. His rookie contract is 5 years.
Four in a team option.
If you pick up that
team option.
So he's doing it the right way.
But he's going into his third year, right? Or is he
going into his fourth year?
He's going into his third year.
You doing
into his fourth season.
No, 2021, 2020, and 2021. He's going into his third year this year.
Kyler Murray has played 3 seasons, bro.
Kyler Murray has played 2 seasons. That's what I'm saying.
Is it? No, it's been 3.
Or did he come in 19?
No, it's 3. You
2020, 2021.
It's 3.
It's 3. He came in 19. I thought he was a part of the 20 draft.
Nah, it's 3. Nah, because that's Derek. Nah, I was about to misspeak, but it's 3. It's 3. It's 3.
And he's
been.
I thought he was part of the 20 draft.
I think he's going about it the wrong way, simply off the fact that, dog, we writing press releases. Like, come on now. We know that this is your third year. We know that you're looking for bread.
But it's not that bad though.
Here's the thing though.
You kind of doing too much, and I'm with Pat. Like the stuff you asking for, you have not delivered on.
And not even asking for.
And not even that. Yeah. He's saying he's basically
had the pieces.
Here's my problem.
You're saying what he has, but you're not addressing what he actually
He's just asking for a long
what he actually asks for.
He's asking for them to commit to him, but
he's asking for a commitment.
In committing to them, but in committing to them, he wants to build a team around them that they already have.
No,
he has not done anything.
The statement said he wants to adjust so they can re-sign the talent around him. That's a favorable statement from a team's perspective.
But to me, it's
going into this contract. I'm sorry, Pat. Go ahead.
To me, it's the final statement. Kyler Murray remains hopeful that the organization chooses to commit so that he can continue leading the Cardinals to further success and value for many years to come. They haven't done anything to say they're not committed to you. In fact, they've done everything to help you be a better quarterback.
Well, right now, because this is when you have these conversations, it's, hey, let's just get this out the way and get it done so that we can move forward. And I can respect that. That is a very awkward situation to be in. He doesn't want to be there. He's also trying not to be mixed up in the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, because you put Aaron Rodgers on the Cardinals, that's a whole different team. So
to me, why are we drawing a line in the sand? I get you having contract negotiations, but we're talking about a line in the sand to the point where Kyler Murray might hold out in year 3 if there's no contract.
Well, it's already year 3, Pat. He's talking about year 4.
Well, okay, if that Kyler Murray might hold out in year 4 if there's no contract. If you
guys, this is how it works, though. Y'all do realize that, right?
But
the way
it's bad for you as a player in your representation to allow it to get to the last year, because you lose a lot of leverage. This is the right time for them to be doing it. We can disagree with how they're doing it, but what they're doing is legitimate.
I don't mind.
What he's saying is legitimate.
Hey, listen. Ask for your contract. Get the bag. I don't care if he gets the bag. He don't play for my team. I don't care if he gets the bag. But what my thing is, you're putting out press releases. You're putting out, first of all, poorly written press releases.
You unfollowed all your teammates.
You've scrubbed your entire social media of anything Arizona Cardinals related. Like, we don't remember that you were in a Cardinals jersey last year. It's the dumbest thing that players do. It's like, I have no affiliation with this team. And it's like, well, there's a contract in place already that you signed.
I like this statement here. We have to look at it from this. What has he shown to say he deserves it? Let's stop. Let's draw a clear line right here. Is he not a top 10 QB?
All right, so let's go down the
list.
Aaron Rodgers.
How many names do you check off before you hit Kyler Murray?
Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen.
Well, hey. Okay,
Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen.
Keep in mind, you got to do it for last year, so Tom Brady's still in there.
Okay, fine.
I'm just saying.
Moving forward.
Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing before I start?
No. The season's over. Tom is retired. Moving to the next season.
Was he a top 10 QB last year? I'm paying you for your production last year, not what you're going to do in the
future.
Time is not there.
No, that is true. Wait, to that point, Pat got a point, so we got to include Tom.
You're paid. This is the thing. It's like when Muggs say Derrick Rose didn't deserve the money he got. He absolutely did. He was the MVP. That's why you pay him $88 million.
So, all right, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson. Matthew Stafford.
That's Stafford.
Matt Stafford got to be up there.
The Super Bowl winning quarterback. That guy.
Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, and
here's the thing.
Justin Herbert.
I have him over. Justin Herbert's a good one. I have him on par with Justin, who I think is a better QB than gives him credit. I have him better than Lamar, and I have him better than Dak right now.
Hey, it's crazy because
let me pull up a list here.
Kyler does not have any playoff wins.
Kyler doesn't have any playoff wins. I mean, Joe Burrow did not have any playoff wins.
Neither does Herbert either. Neither does Justin Herbert.
I mean, I get it. But I think he's a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. He's a top 10. And then at this point, you have to take Tom Brady off the list.
Lamar's winning games.
You have to take Tom Brady off the list because guess what? Tom is not a factor anymore.
No, I can't take Tom Brady off the list because I'm paying you based on what you did
last
season.
You always pay them off what they did.
Now,
here's
the thing.
Do not sign a long-term deal based off of just solely off of.
You can say that, but it is
not the entire thing. It is nowhere near the entire thing.
You can say that, but it's been like that for years.
If that's the case, then no contracts worth.
You signed a contract.
I'm not saying that you're not right.
Listen to what I'm saying.
The NFL has been working like that for years. This is the NFL.
It's not the NFL. It's every league.
I'm saying it does play a factor. What I'm saying is it is not the only criteria. You do not sit there and say, oh, yeah, you had a great season last season. Let me give you 5 more years of all this money. No, you do base it off of potential. You do base a lot of it. It's a smaller percentage of it because you do have to have the track record. And statistically, on certain categories, he is up there. Kyler Murray was a top 10 QB.
Let's see. And I finally got the list up. Okay, we'll take for you. I'll take Tom off. Next year he might be top 10. Last year I don't think he was. But Russell Wilson.
Watch Tom come back.
Tom come back. Take Tom off the list. Tom comes back on the list.
That man is not leaving on no L.
This ain't in order. This ain't in order. But Russell Wilson still top 10. Stafford. Carr top 10. I'll give Carr top 10.
I give Carr top 10.
Where we got Prescott. Jesus, the Bengals were running out who? This list can't be right. This must say some Brandon.
Can you pull up the list on the screen or what?
That's what I'm trying to do. Well, I'm just trying to see the list of everything that it was because it even says Andy Dalton for the Bears. Like
technically, Cousins or Kyler. Cousins is. How about this? We're in the best era of QB play we've ever been in.
Oh yeah, you're also finding them at a higher rate ever. You're finding that. I think that's a factor that a lot of people don't bring into it. You know what I'm saying? Teams are finding quarterbacks every season. Like it's not like in the 80s and 90s, like it was literally just like we can't find these dudes. Like you gotta finding quarterbacks is the hardest thing in the world to do. Now it's like there's a new quarterback every year that's cold. Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. Why is this mug doing this? Josh Allen. This says Ryan Tannehill. Absolutely not.
Ryan Tannehill got playoff dubs.
Statistically, he was up there.
He got playoff dubs.
Hey, not this year. Dak Prescott. Matthew Stafford. Burrow. Absolutely was top 10 this year. Carr.
9.
And I think this is an old list as well, but no, it's not. If I'm taking Brady off, then yeah, he's top 10. If Brady's on there, no, he's outside the top 10.
Moving forward, he's a top 10 QB.
Depending on where you place Lamar. I'm seeing some people in the chat saying that there's no way.
What is the market paying for him? Remember, Kirk Cousins is getting paid 40 M's.
So it's 235. Whatever.
Kirk Cousins is a very different situation. You got to salute that man. Hey, get your money.
He did his job. He did his job.
Money, sir.
He did his job.
Hey, he definitely pulled it.
He sold that off. You like that? You like that? Yes, I do, sir. Yes, I do. You keep it up.
25 M's off a franchise tag 2 years in a row.
Man, that's just Washington being Washington. Them us dumb.
It's very hard to sit there like Justin Herbert. What has Justin Herbert really done?
Well, Kyler's a. They're the same.
Justin Herbert's a better QB statistically.
But they're the same to me, right? Like that's kind of where I look at Kyler at because neither of them has really accomplished anything. I mean, they've got wins in season, haven't got wins in the playoffs. Kyler's been to the playoffs what? Once, and got the doors blown off of him.
Dog, Justin Herbert. No, I ain't going. Justin Herbert's a dog.
But then
Justin Herbert's a dog. Justin Herbert ain't even been in the playoffs yet. So that's why I say That's
the
why I say I kind of look at
reincarnation
him the
of no
same.
kill
Like,
feel for real. That man is out here slinging his speed.
hey, and
That
he,
man is like,
and he absolutely be looking like the second coming of Phillip Rivers.
I love looking at this stat because like it just blows my mind. So Kyler Murray has 11,000 yards in 3 seasons. 11,000, let's say 700, 800. Justin Herbert has 9,350 yards in 2 seasons. That man is out here saying, "You're open downfield, let me throw it to you." Hi. Like he is out here getting it done, man. All right, cool. I like doing that. Anyway,
Hey, that boy a problem. That
the
boy
boy's a problem. I'm sorry.
problem.
How about this? How about it's harder than ever to rate top 10 QBs now?
Yeah, I'll say that.
I'd agree with that because there's not as vast of a gap. You thought it was a vast gap with Mahomes and the rest of them, but then it's like, okay, well, it's Mahomes and Rodgers and Brady at the time, and then you're like, okay, no, well, now here's Allen. Oh, well, now here's Herbert. Okay, well, now here, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I have a question. Based off what you saw last season, what keeps you hope? What makes him MVP? What makes Aaron Rodgers MVP, considering how his season ended?
because it's a regular season award.
Touchdown to interception ratio.
Aaron Rodgers in the regular season was a monster. He just was. He was.
Hey, like
Aaron Rodgers. What he have 2 bad games? Like early in the season, he had that one game. No, there was 2 games.
He keeps the turnovers to a minimum. Like what is it?
I'll say this. Aaron Rodgers to me,
and he's throwing touchdowns while he's doing it. Like that's a big part of
Aaron
playing
Rodgers to me is the equivalent of Peyton Manning before he got the ball. Like Peyton was gonna get you through the regular season. He was probably gonna get 11 to 12 wins, possibly 13.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just up. It was just up because he only got the one. Peyton Manning got
Here's
one.
the thing, right? We say that about Peyton Manning. We say that about Aaron Rodgers because of Tom Brady doing what Tom Brady did. True. And because of how now Pat Mahomes is doing what he's done with the AFC title games. But if we're being real, that's the story of most quarterbacks.
And that's real.
Like Aaron Rodgers has probably the greatest arm talent I've ever seen. And Pat Mahomes is creeping up behind him, but it's arm talent mixed with like accuracy, mixed with decision making on the field, mixed with how to get your team wins. Still doesn't mean he won Super Bowls. That's most quarterback story minus one dude. You know what I'm saying? Terry Bradshaw wasn't a great quarterback. Terry Bradshaw was just on an amazing team. That level of success.
He was on the Monstars.
Yeah, you can't really look at NFL players the same way we look at NBA players, to the point where if I'm gonna put you in this upper echelon of the greatest of the greats, you have to have 3+ championships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's where the where I look at Aaron Rodgers, I can say, yeah, he's the greatest talent at quarterback I've ever seen. That doesn't mean that he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Like, it doesn't make you the GOAT. So, like last year with his MVP, he played amazing. MVP is a regular season stat. Same as when Lamar won his. Same as when now Mahomes probably took it a long way, but I mean, a lot of those guys win those MVPs, and it's just like, all right, he's the MVP. Let's watch the playoffs. Trash. And a lot of times it's because of how much your team leans on you. Comes down to that last, hey, we got to keep doing this. We got to keep leaning on you because you're the only one on this team that is going this far. And then by the time the playoffs get there, you did. I think that happened. I think that absolutely happened with Lamar, his MVP season.
Is Aaron Rodgers the problem in Green Bay?
Part of it.
He's part of it.
Part of it. I think the situation that they've created is the problem in Green Bay. And because it's always looming, you always feel on edge. A lot like how Kyrie was with Bron. Yeah,
Speaking of Bron,
what the heck are you gonna do?
Professional segue right there,
Ooh,
Rick. Go ahead, do it.
I was gonna do it.
Bang,
do it. Go ahead, do it. You got it.
Bang.
Speaking of Bron, 28-point loss to the Pelicans last night.
Smoked.
The Muzz was
fans
awful.
were blowing the Lakers in the third quarter. So my question to you guys is, are the Lakers fans finally starting to figure out that LeBron is the problem in LA?
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna hop off real quick because I got a 12:30 appointment. I tell you what,
hey bro, go do you.
LeBron's been a problem on most of the places he goes. He's changed complete legacies. We've denigrated entire players' careers because of being around LeBron. Now, there's a lot of good that comes with LeBron, and as a person and a black man, father, husband, all that, I totally have nothing but love and respect for what he's built, how he's put his people on. I love it. I absolutely love it. But there are some casualties when you're on the road to greatness, and there's a lot of casualties when you look back at that. We killed Chris Bosh, we killed Kevin Love, we killed Kyrie, we killed a lot of people who didn't fit or helped aid that thing. And right now, Rob Pelinka, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, all of them are going to get killed in this failed experiment, and they're going to say, "Oh, it was LeBron James. It's LeBron James. You should have got him help, this, that, and the other." No one's going to talk about the fact that they actually came to him and said, "Hey, this is who we can get. DeMar could have been in the Lakers jersey."
Yeah.
All of that was possible, and he chose Russ. So no one's going to remember that. But hey, listen, I'm going to let you all get to it, man. I'll tune in with y'all tomorrow, all right?
Sounds like a plan, my boy. Appreciate you for pulling up as always, man. Stay safe out there. Hey, and I agree with Kid. There's a lot of great that comes from having LeBron James on your team. The part that you have to take into account when you're talking about LeBron James is that everyone has to fit around what LeBron does. LeBron does not make players better. LeBron is a playmaking player for a team. And other players have to conform their game to them, which means they have to take a step back, which means they have to take a different path for the team to be successful, which is fine. There's a ton of players that have done that, right? There's a ton of players that have taken a back seat in that situation. But what it does is people look at the players that come to that team not playing at the same level as they were on their previous team and saying, that's why we brought you here. No, that's not why you brought that player here. You brought that player here because you wanted him to be associated with what LeBron's doing and add something similar to LeBron. But there's no way he's going to be able to do the same thing. And that's the part that a lot of fans just kind of don't really look at. Like, you don't look at the fact that Kevin Love has to take a back seat because now he's not the number one. You don't look at the fact that Chris Bosh has to take a back seat and why aren't we seeing more production out of Chris Bosh? You don't look at the fact that, you know what I'm saying? And these mugs are going to end up with Hall of Fame careers. But if we're being real, like, I think Lakers fans are starting to realize, and I think NBA fans in general are starting to realize that the same things you killed a lot of these players for, the same things you killed Russell Westbrook for, you have to kill LeBron for. And because it's Bron, he's the GOAT, he's the God, we can't touch him. Listen, a GOAT gets all the scrutiny. And so when you have a game where you have 7 turnovers where let's not pretend like LeBron doesn't turn the ball over a lot. This is the norm. Last night wasn't a different Bron. The same Bron we've been seeing. So to me, that's the biggest reason why you have to look at it and say, yeah, like Bron is a big part of the problem, but also there are all these other problems in the room.
Yeah, to me, I just look at it like, and absolutely, he's been a problem my only thing with this is like I found it funny because in the beginning of the season when they were struggling, it was like, oh, now this is Frank Vogel. They need to fire Frank Vogel.
Yep.
This is his fault. We get to 30, 35 games. Where's Russ? Russ is trash. Russ don't fit. Now I went to, now I can't forget it's AD's the youngest. AD's the youngest. He should be the thoroughbred. He should be carrying. We went from that to okay, maybe now it is LeBron because Mud's gotta understand. And it was like exactly the P Kid's point. It's not like Mud just saying, oh, that Rob Pelinka got beef with Bron's team, Rich Paul and them. Rob Pelinka came to you. Russ came to you. You signed off on the roster. This was your roster. Could have had Buddy Hield. Didn't get
you know
Buddy
what
Hield.
though? This is
could have had DeMar DeRozan.
This is the thing I will say about that. That is based on just how T-Mac was talking, the norm. He talked about how his first head coach basically was just not using him. And T-Mac was a high pick. 9th overall, 7th overall? Might have been 9th overall. But that's I feel like Bron might have changed how it does. Like Bron goes to the organization more and is spending more time in the front office, if you want to call it that, to where he's kind of trying to pick his guys. But T-Mac said Shaq was talking to him and he said I forget who he said his first head coach was, but he was terrible. He said, yeah, we got him out of there. And Shaq was like, I like how you said we. He was like, listen, there's a certain amount of power you get coming in as the 7th overall pick. Like you're gonna have to acquiesce to what we want to do a little bit. You know what I mean? So I think that's the part of it where I look at like okay, they brought the list to Bron to sign off on it and be done with it. That's fine. You came to me and said Russ or DeMar. Bron picked Russ. Bron picked wrong. That's fine. But also, we have to look at this with the lens of DeMar's not this DeMar. He's not MVP candidate DeMar. He's not the MVP.
He's definitely not
on the Lakers. He's not. It looks great now because he's doing all of this. And what if this was in a Lakers jersey? We could have had it. He's not that because of who LeBron is, because of how LeBron plays his game. Guess what? When Russell Westbrook leaves the Lakers, which probably will happen, or LeBron leaves, one or the other, Russell Westbrook is going to remember how to play basketball again.
Hey, and the crazy thing is, to add on to your point about DeMar not being MVP DeMar, Mudge was already trashing him when he was with the Spurs because they wasn't watching the games. It absolutely would have been way worse. Yeah. Way worse if he was with the Lakers. He need to go ahead and retire. This man done lost stuff.
Because here's the thing, like what's he gonna come in and do? Play point guard? You want him to be the point guard that he was down there? So you're basically at that point you're getting the same DeMar. At that point you're getting DeMar DeRozan that is 19, 20 points a game, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. If that's the DeMar you want, that's cool. But at that point you're getting the same DeMar. Like, what's your game? He's not going to be taking the shots like he is here. Like right now on the Bulls, he's the number one option. Rightfully so. He's knocked down shots, big time shot after big time shot consistently. But on the Bulls right now, he's your number one option. On the Lakers, he's 3. Probably 3.
3. But that just wouldn't work because DeMar's always in or around the post anyway. I mean, and that's facts, Baki. Because but they're doing the same thing with Russ now. But in that sense, we already knew that these mugs couldn't shoot like that. Like DeMar just now put up 100 threes.
Just past 100 threes.
Like you
Legitimately
just
like
past 100 threes.
Last game, our game before last. No,
yeah,
that's legit.
dog. Like it wasn't gonna work. I think the problem is he signed off on a roster, and Jeannie Buss was absolutely right.
Yeah.
About we finna you got to stick with the roster because they couldn't make any moves.
Yeah.
They couldn't make any moves. So this was the roster that you signed off on. I don't think it was honestly going to get any better, even if they did pick up DeMar. I would have liked them to get more shooting. It probably would have been a little bit better. But I mean, you still got AD, and everything like that. But I mean, it's like this season you really couldn't do nothing. Like the team was gonna be the team.
And here's the thing with like realizing what the problem is in LA. It's all the things we brought up. It's how Frank Vogel plays his bigs when you lose Anthony Davis. It's how LeBron James is turning the ball over. It's how Russell Westbrook is inefficient. It's how Anthony Davis is always in street clothes. It's how not KCP, he's not there no more. What's buddy they got on the team is basically useless?
Russ. DeAndre.
DeAndre who? Jordan? No, not him. Wayne. Why can't I think of this? But why can't I think of buddy? Be putting up shots, don't hit nothing. They don't even play him no more.
Shots. Oh, that was KCP.
Oh, that was KCP. THT. That's what I'm thinking. THT. Yeah. THT's playing out of position there. You know what I'm saying? He's not getting like the same looks, the same shots that he was when. And so, like to me, that's when you're looking at those guys. Malik Monk too. But they finally freed Malik Monk. Malik actually getting buckets now. But you look at those guys, right? And those are the building blocks that you thought were going to make your team better. And instead, they're trying to adjust their game around a guy who, rightfully so, you should have to adjust your game around. But because of that, and because he's trying to do I'm kind of taking a back seat, but I'm also trying to take the front seat, but I'm also trying to not be as involved, but I also want the ball in my hands, but I also, because he's waffling on that and going back and forth and kind of going up and down with that, it affects how everybody else on the team plays.
Right.
And so all of those problems are true as to the reason why the Lakers are where they are. But for most of the season, if we're being honest, people have LeBron don't have help. LeBron don't got enough. LeBron doesn't. LeBron turning the ball over. It ain't LeBron don't have help. It's LeBron is turning the ball over.
LeBron is turning the ball over. You chose Russ. And the thing is, I mean, and it's been an up and down roller coaster all season. I mean, and then it's like you get to the trade deadline, and it's like Mud ain't gonna forget what happened. When was that? 2018?
Yeah.
Like you traded the entire starting roster for Rodney Hood, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance, and like, come on, man, like. It's a roller coaster. Like he's part of the problem because Mud get to the trade deadline. Like, bro, I guarantee you that they in a separate group chat.
I would love to see.
Bro, I don't know. What you heard any news? I don't know. You heard some? Bro, I don't know. You saw the way he looked at me in practice today.
I would love to see how teams play coming towards the trade deadline versus coming out of it because of that. Because like I told y'all, I said that absolutely plays on a player's mind. Like Kobe White going into the trade deadline, you started to see his efficiency dip.
Kobe White is absolutely hooping.
And once he knew he was on the team, it started to go back up. That mentally plays on you. You know what I'm saying? When you're going into a trade deadline and you're like, am I going to, because it's not just, oh, he's going to play for the Lakers. It's, am I going to have to uproot my entire family to go move to this city? Is my entire daily routine about to change because LeBron doesn't think I'm good enough to be on this team? And so I like Kid said, there's good that comes with it, and I'm not going to take anything away from Brian. Listen, Brian has had an amazing career. He's probably the third best player we've ever seen touch a basketball in NBA history. Some people would argue second. For me, third, I guess. But I mean, you also have to take into account what you how do I say this? The head that wears the crown is heavy. You self-dubbed your name King James. If we're being honest, the only thing that people have really gone after him about is you're not Michael Jordan.
And the decision.
But really just you're not Michael Jordan.
Hey.
That's the part that Bron gets killed most on. But on most of these teams, the final story is always when Bron loses. They didn't have this for Bron. They didn't do this for Bron. This didn't happen for Bron. If they did this for Bron, the team would win. Where with most of the players that wear the crown, it's you didn't get it done. You didn't make your team better. You didn't build your team to the point that you were a championship team. See, Bron gets all of that when it's the accolades. He gets the love when it's the accolades. Hey, they won a championship. That's because Bron finally took over for D Wade, and he put his foot on the pedal, and he made the defensive stops, and he did all of that. I'm not taking none of that away from him. But when the conversation shifts to there being a problem, and this is kind of how society is in general now, there's this mindset of, hey, you didn't do enough for me to be good. It's not I didn't do enough to be good. I'm not saying Bron has that mindset. I'm just saying that's how it's talked about.
Oh, no, yeah, no, most definitely. And it's like, bro, if I give you the opportunity to put the work in,
and
put the work in. You send me the link every day. I'm here every day.
And with this team, maybe there isn't enough, but this is the team that Bron said was going to be good enough to win.
Hey, and the thing is, you gotta remember too. You gotta remember, a couple years ago. What was that? 2015, 2016?
Yeah.
I'm the best player in the world.
Hey, he was.
I'm the best player in the world. Fast forward. Then after that, did you not say, "Oh yeah, I'm chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan"?
He was.
Nobody else affects me.
He's never gonna catch him.
I'm chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan.
Hey, I don't care how much hate Isaiah Thomas got.
He's not gonna get there, but
never gonna catch him.
It's like, bro, no, he's absolutely part of the problem, and they never bring it up. Like they never bring up those statements when he says,
"Yeah,
I'm chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan," because when he says that, that's like, okay, cool. So then when he loses, oh, this is on Kevin Love and Kyrie. They didn't get it done.
And to me, that's
like, no.
That's the conversation that I don't like, right? It's like I feel like I don't want to say that mugs don't unjustly kill LeBron. People bring up dumb debates for LeBron all the times. Most of them Jordan fans. If I'm being honest, like I'm not gonna fake it. Like a lot of them are Jordan fans. Like
that's facts.
Jordan fans come up with the dumbest debate for why LeBron is trash, the same way LeBron fans come up with the dumbest debate for why Jordan is trash. And it's like, no, they're both like the top 3 people we've ever seen. They're 2 of the top 3 people we've ever seen dribble a ball. Like, they're both great. It's okay. But when you look to me at how Jordan was killed before, see, that's the part Muzz don't remember. It's always Jordan lost. Jordan didn't do this. Jordan was looked at as a scorer. And a scorer doesn't win an NBA title. And he was murdered for that in the media.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's one of those to me where like scorers don't win NBA championships. And that's what was pinned with Jordan until he won a championship. Then he won another. Then he won another. And to me, like that kind of scrutiny, when the Bulls lost, it's on Mike. Mike didn't do enough tonight. Mike wasn't good enough tonight. Mike wasn't. when Bron loses, it's everybody else's fault. And I feel like for the first time in a while, I'd say probably since Miami, I think Miami, they blamed him. In Miami, they blamed him because the hate was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
I mean, they were hating on LeBron for anything. LeBron's like, this man sneezing again.
I will never forget. They showed a clip of him that was like, yeah, he's at Six Flags, and this dude was heckling him, and he got mad because he was shooting a jump shot.
Bro, they be killing Bron for any. I ain't gonna lie to you. And even this, Jeffrey, Bron joins teams. Okay. Jordan didn't do that. Okay. That's what today's era is. Bron also is basically the team.
I mean, I think the biggest thing here is just, bruh, keep the same energy. I feel like this is it hasn't been like that in a while, so it's new. But I mean, keep the same energy. I mean, dog, you remember a couple years back when Paul George was in OKC and they were getting ready for the playoffs. It was him, Russ, and Melo. And that mug was like, y'all think y'all seen something? Y'all must ain't seen playoff P yet. And for like 3-4 straight years, that man was
Nah, hey, this is the thing, right? You got to look at. I have to go back and look at the games because if you look at the numbers, he was great. But I absolutely remember Paul George being like, I don't know, dog. Like you might need to improve on that. You know what I'm saying? But I say in Miami, LeBron got hate for anything he did.
If we gonna do that for him, like we have to remember when Bron says these statements because we can't just do it for everybody else and then not do it for him.
Yeah. Yeah, and to me, I like how Muggs do that. Jeffrey said we got our rings the real way. Talking about that Kobe said that. Okay. You got rings though. Like, hey, look. Let me tell you something. As Bulls fans, guess who we would absolutely be defending if he had picked Chicago?
Like, let's not do that because
that's why I always keep that energy with it. Like, I would absolutely be like, Bron is the man that was the second coming of Jordan, and he did this, and now he's doing the man. Like, I already know, man.
I will say this.
I already know how mugs are in here. You already know, dog. Hey, we on these Bulls live calls every day.
That would have been the only time you would have saw me in any type of Bulls jersey.
Oh, you'd have been going hard.
Because you got to lay it in right.
You'd have been going hard for the Bulls, dog.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen. When did you stop being a Bron fan?
Nah, because I go back and forth with this with Clinton all the time. When he left, when he left Miami, I was absolutely like, it was just the way he left. Cause I'm just like, you left and we could have absolutely ran it back for one more year. You're signing 1 year deals. We could have absolutely tried to run it back one more time. But that mug was like, nah.
So he broke your heart.
I'm not doing.
So he broke your heart.
I was like, after that, I'm like, you know, I'm cool. You know, he the greatest. I acknowledge him as the greatest. I'm not finna. I'm off this now. You feel me? I'm not even. Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Like
Ringo was at home, like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you."
When you're a Bulls fan, this is the thing. I always wanted the Bulls to do good, just never against Miami. I was allowed to pick my team. Yo, this is the thing. If y'all got beef with me, y'all had to talk to my pops. Because my pops absolutely allowed me to pick my team.
Hey, I say this, right? Aria gonna definitely have to she gonna have to be a Bulls fan.
Nah, you said Sox fan. You said Sox. We're not doing that.
She gonna have to be a Bulls fan. She gonna have to be a Sox fan. Because Bulls, you know, we got enough winning there. I'm still on the fence about Bears. I don't know yet. My dad was like, "Don't worry, I'll do it for you." I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like,
she gonna be looking at them past records like that.
Man, I'm gonna just be like, let me tell you, I'm gonna lay it all out on the court. I'm gonna lay it all out for you, baby. I'm gonna let you look at this. I'm gonna let you make your own decision here. Now, this is the team that has been good for 10 plus years. I'm gonna also let you make it. I'm gonna let you pick, baby. But listen, I would love for you to be a Bears fan so that we could cheer on our teams together. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I understand. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. I feel you. You know what I mean?
that combo is gonna be like, yo, you got all this stuff for me. Actually, it's great.
Hey, dog, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Dad, when is the now? Here's the thing, right? Justin Fields might make my life easy. Justin Fields might make my life so easy. Bears might just be like one of the best teams in the NFL the 10 years she grow up, and I'm going to just love it. But here's the part that I don't want for her, right? The Bears are good, like, before she's old enough to realize what she's watching. Like me with the Bulls. So then you get your heart invested because it's the team you grew up rooting for when they were good. I remember this. I love it. They've been so good. And then you just like, wait a minute. Wait, these guys suck.
Yo.
You just start looking around eventually. You're like, wait a minute. These guys are awful.
Oh, brother, these guys stink.
That's my worry for her. I'm not gonna lie. Like baseball, you can be good for a long time. You can have 15 years of dominance. Football, 15 years, you know what I mean? Like by the time when you start paying attention to sports, about 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
Around there, about 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? I think I was a little bit younger, but the Bears were winning.
I want to say at least like 6 or 7 for me when I actually.
Yeah, I was a little younger because the Bears were becoming a good team again, and they ended up going to the Super Bowl. So I was a little bit younger. I think for the Bulls, I started paying attention real young because they were, Jordan was not that long ago.
So real quick though, like when you was younger, did you have a team or did you just have a player? Because I had a player before like.
Oh no, I see. This is the thing. We grew up very different. Amon Shumpert talked about it too. He said it didn't matter who was on the team. The team was my team.
Yeah.
So like, I'm talking about the Ron Artest, Brad Miller, Jay Crossover, Jay Williams. That's my team. You couldn't tell me that team. You couldn't tell me. Now at that age, you don't really understand how standings work. So like, you couldn't tell me this team is bad. That's my team. This is the team I ride for.
Yo, we raw as heck.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there, and because you're a kid, you're not sitting there for 82 games. So you sit in, and the games you watch are the games that them mugs are running mugs off the court. You like, stop playing with me. We cold out here. Now the Bears was a little different for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. The Bears I got into later because my dad took me to Bears games, and they did not win. They weren't even competitive. Like at one point, I looked at him and I was like, I don't have to be here. It's cold and we're not winning.
So why did you make the decision to just be like, yo, I'm gonna invest in this?
Because by the time I started getting into my formative years, we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay.
So then it's like, that's my team.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no question.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, so
sense, yeah.
It's hey, 7 Black. That's a fact. Look, he said, I remember getting roasted for being a Bulls fan after Jordan retired the second time. Then them same heads becoming Bulls fans when we got roasted. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I'm so loyal with it. I'm gonna stick with my team, so it don't matter. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in for the Daily Show, man. Appreciate y'all for showing love to us, man. We're gonna be doing this Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. If you're in here and you enjoyed this content, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man, because we're gonna be doing this on a daily Monday through Friday basis. We appreciate y'all for showing so much love and support, man. We will be back for Bulls Live Call tonight. Bulls taking on the Miami Heat. Ringo, are you gonna be there?
I will be there. I don't know if I don't know if I'm pulling up.
That probably depend on if AD come here. The studio big, but
I was gonna say if AD come, I'll slide. But either way, I'll be here for Heat gear. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be here for this dub. The Bulls finna get
ready to go 3-0. You know what I'm saying?
Stop playing with me. Hey,
at that point, I'm gonna start talking real regulars. If we go 3-0,
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If we get 3-0. I'm definitely picking us for the NBA championship, just like how we 3-0'd y'all. And y'all, I'm definitely picking us for the NBA championship. Hey, yo, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing so much love as always, man. We'll be back tonight at 6:30 for Bulls Heat. Y'all stay safe out there in Chicago. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer, joined by the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan the Don. Y'all stay safe out there, man.